online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Love it. Hey guys, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. Welcome, this is the after show. We're discussing all things Dig, the show on USA, and you can hashtag that at Dig Deeper. We'll talk about that a little later, where we discuss everything between the episode, tweets, and comments that you guys have to say out there, anything discussing the show and the episode that we just saw. And I'm Andrea Fasano, one of your co-hosts. You can Instagram and tweet me at andyfasano.com. Oh, that's also a website. But you could tweet and Instagram me at Andy Fasano. And next to me...
And I'm Mindy Thomas. Thank you so much for joining Hear Us. Hear Us.
Yep.
Hear Us.
Hear Us there.
Hear Us everywhere we go us. ABTV, baby. AFTERBUZZ TV.
Right. Love it.
Welcome to Dig. This is going to be so much fun. Andrea, great to be here with you tonight.
Yes, I'm excited. This is the third episode. We're talking with Dig. It's Meet the Rosenbergs, which doesn't sound like a usual title for them, but I mean, it's only the third episode, so there's no usual in this so far.
Yeah, we had some
unusual with this show. Absolutely. Right?
From somebody on a boat to Croatia to even a gay bar in Israel. Who knew?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
I love Mindy's look when we were watching the show. She just looks at me and goes, that's just something I didn't think of when I thought of Jerusalem, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So funny.
Twists and turns tonight.
Yes.
And where should we start with Peter, I guess? Jason Isaacs playing Peter Connelly.
Still loving him.
And also Anne Heche, loving him in an unusual, precarious situation, or not.
Yes.
Was that a hallucination? But we can get into that. Mm-hmm. So the big dinner, the show opens tonight with the big dinner, right?
Yes.
And everybody
Dinner at the consulate.
Yes.
And he busts in.
And, of course, he's looking like the grief-stricken one to the U.S. ambassador and then also to Anne Heche, these two authorities overseeing him. And he's looking like he's a little bit of a basket case popping into this big dinner. And then they announce, okay, it's time to evacuate. She makes that decision, knowing she's got to cover her tracks. Well, of course, bust the alarm, and then there goes the mystery man.
Exactly.
So that was real difficult.
Yusuf Khalid gets out of there. It's like free and clear.
Yeah.
Good job, detective. Well, he didn't know. But as the audience, it's really weird seeing him go in there and then seeing how, the ambassador was going to deal with that. You know, she's being confronted by these two detectives. Oh, don't worry about it. We don't want to upset you. We don't want to get you crazy. Meanwhile, she's in on the thing. You know?
And then, like you had mentioned during the show, there becomes a distrust, like everybody's in on it. I love that. Mm-hmm. I was like, well said.
Yeah.
So I just took that from you.
That's awesome.
So then Peter, after all that, he goes home, takes a drink, and he's looking at the diary from the girl that looks like she could have been his daughter, but that was not his daughter. And then he's smoking like her cigarette and kind of
super weird.
Yeah.
There's like some things here where you're like, I get it. He's still nostalgic over his daughter and the loss of her. Yet, what does he have to do with Emma Wilson? He met her once. And I understand he's on this whole mission to find out what she was into with the archaeology and how that ties into the whole mystery. But still, he's a little bit obsessive. Smoking a cigarette that was left on her dresser, we're talking days ago. It's gross.
And Heche pops in and says, I'm ready for my rendezvous. But the question becomes, was she actually there or not? What do you think?
Yeah. You're talking about when he was having his dream and you see them kind of getting at it, and then all of a sudden he wakes up in the middle of a dream, but he's having flashes of him having sex with her, and then also flashes of Emma Wilson, who's the reflection of his daughter, and even like her skull pictures and the detective photos. Just super eerie. And I think what happened was the woman came over and then maybe he fell asleep and had just like blurred visions of the rest of his night mixed with the thoughts he's having.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that because I think that makes the most sense.
Okay, so there are a lot of crossing of lines,
Yes.
and you can't really rationalize any of
No,
this.
I was just going to say that it's funny that I just said that's what makes the most sense. There's not much sense being made in this show. Every turn is a different, I don't know, it's just a different storyline. It's a different sort of, help me out. I don't even know what words to use because
if you're doing a geometry problem.
That's what I feel like.
And then you go way outside and create your own shape.
Yes.
Then this story kind of goes to each corner of that shape. But
Right.
I don't know what it would look like. I'm not going
No.
to say a parallelogram. I'm not going to say a hexagon. It's going to be
I'm
something.
glad you know your math because you already lost me at geometry. No, but seriously, with the first 2 episodes between the pilot, I was saying the writers did a really good job of like putting nice little bows on some serious mysteries. And then we go into the 3rd episode, and every time we changed scenes, whether it be Jerusalem, New Mexico, or
the blue man.
Croatia now.
Right. Oh, well.
With the
right.
red heifer.
Yeah.
This episode was a little more disjointing, a little more like, what's happening, huh?
Okay, so some building blocks being put out there.
Yes.
Now, the 2 women at the camp are told to take the young boy and to get him acclimated. And then I was like, whoa, I thought his feet couldn't touch that ground.
Agreed. Yes.
Can't touch this, but the truth is that he had already been through his holy cleansing.
Right.
Or
By
whatever
having
you
his
call
13th
that.
birthday, so now he's a man.
Right. So 13 years old, never played a video game. He's
Poor
going
kid.
crazy at that arcade, I'm telling you.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Never had a milkshake. Vanilla.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
talking some, yeah. I mean, you would think he would be wanting to break free at that point.
Do you think it's funny that the only flavor they had was vanilla? Do you think that's ironic? That it's very
yeah.
like clean, streamlined, just one note?
I like that. Yes, I do.
I don't know. That's reaching.
Well, and so she climbs out the window, Debbie, and she climbs out the window in the bathroom, goes and finds the payphone. Thank God she had the little coins in her pocket
Yep.
because who uses a payphone these days?
I thought that, Debbie just has money lying around.
Yeah, but New Mexico had a payphone, and then also in Jerusalem, the Israeli
right.
detective had
That's
used
right.
the payphone there. So I'm liking the payphone thing. Thank you. But yeah.
Way to go back in time, Dig.
Yeah, exactly. But she spent a little too much time on there, but somehow she made it back into the toilet, flushed it. When the other lady, Faye, comes in, is like, "What are you doing in here?"
Yeah.
Well,
You knew that whole situation wasn't going to go as planned. You knew something was going to go awry.
Well, I did not expect
Not
her
that.
to just
I didn't
reach over
expect
and
that.
clock her
Yeah,
into the
she
sink
did.
and like, wow, where'd all that come from?
And Faye's tiny.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not going to make it.
Do you think it was a building up of the scolding in the car on the way there to the cafeteria?
It might have been. Absolutely. I just think Debbie knows she's not in on this. She wants to get out of this. She wants to get out of the situation. And they know too. This was a test. That's what we saw. It was a test for her. Even the kid was in on it.
And she did not reveal the secret to the person that she called. She was like, I just need some
Right.
money, which is like
She
the
didn't have a lot of
worst
time.
line you could say. But
Right.
but yeah, how about
And
a
we know
secret?
about
I
her
mean,
past that she's been on drugs. that
Right. Right.
So,
So
maybe
not-
that's a reason that she got to this cult. How did she get there? Maybe that's a little more insight on her backstory.
Right, which means that they can manipulate this whole situation around her at some point too. She's vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
Prey. And yeah, so I didn't think she was going to find a way out, but apparently she did. Uh-oh, not so much.
Yeah. You think the cops are your friends. What did I say? I was like, I forget what you said, but you said something about, oh, maybe he'll do something. And I was like, nah, I've seen this trick before. In a town like this where it's a cult following,
Yeah,
everybody's in on it, people. Don't trust. It's so scary because that's one of your biggest fears. Getting out of a situation that it's a dire situation and you don't know where to go. All of a sudden you turn to who you think that you've been told since you were a child that you can turn to, the police, and they're in on it. I knew he was. And
Yeah.
then boom, he brings in the pastor.
Oh, and that pastor, that actor's
he's
very good.
very good. He's very
Believable.
good.
Believable in that role.
And scary.
Right. Right. This is a fear-based situation. Faith, I've often heard is said, if you're in faith, then it's the opposite of fear. So I don't. since we're talking about cults and religions, I throw in some faith,
Yeah.
weigh that out for yourself, tweet me about
Right.
that. All right. So
What's your opinion?
Well, all I know is that all of this has to do with some big prophecy here.
Yes.
And my definition of prophecy is different than this shape.
Well,
The corners of where this is
exactly.
going. I mean, we're talking to the outer edges of various cultic type situations around the globe. But it's interesting because throughout the show, it was pieced more together. We'll get into that. So Emma Watson had a package delivered to her apartment. While
Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Emma Watson. if she makes an appearance on the show, that'd be some really good
Yeah,
TV.
that would be good. But you're like Emma Wilson,
I'm like,
here,
just to clarify.
she's on one episode, but she
Yes.
is also in the poster.
Yeah, that
Right,
actress
her back.
scored huge with this show.
With the symbol on her back. And so, so here now
She's a bigger part than just an archaeology student.
which leads me to believe, we'll get into that on a prediction.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you know what I'm thinking because you're probably thinking it too.
I want you to say it. I feel like we're going to forget by the time we get the predictions. I'm like,
Okay,
I
I'll
wanna
write
make sure.
myself a note.
Do it.
EW, prediction.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on, let's get into the other, the New Mexico a little bit more. Did we leave anything out of that? Essentially, Josh ended up saying, "Hey, I knew she was gonna cave in."
Well, the scary part about that is he's this now double of a Josh. He's a double kid. Where did he come from still? Why is he on their side when the other child was so afraid? Like, did they genetically produce him? Was he created? I don't know where. And so Debbie finally even makes a bond with this robot of a child. She's still trying to protect him, and yet he's with the cult all the way. He's on board with that whole prophecy thing. He knows he's the chosen one. He's loving it. And that's a creepy thing to me about that situation. I don't think we learned much more than that in this episode, but it was kind of good to see that they're so hell-bent on testing Debbie because apparently she's a bigger part. Otherwise, wouldn't they just say, go, run away, like we don't care? She doesn't know much more than that, right?
Right. Now, we did learn another tie-in because Peter Connelly was at the Jerusalem Heritage Center because he was reading the clues, and then remember the Israeli detective Cohen was following him around, and then he got tired of following him around.
Right.
But he ended up
That was my
inside
favorite
of there,
part of the
going
whole
to the
episode.
bathroom. Numbers 19, they looked it up about the red heifer, and he ends up going in there and has an interaction with the rabbi. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who we've seen before on the phone call with Pastor Billingham.
Yes.
And that's where it's interesting that all came together finally, where then he was speaking with the consulate,
Now, the
with the
rabbi
ambassador after.
has an assistant, and we did not know who he really was, but apparently he's been working 18 months undercover.
Yep.
So Peter Connelly goes home. His place is ransacked. They were looking for the journal, but he still had it. So that's great. But then
This guy comes in.
the guy comes in, and it's some kind of special forces
Right.
detective over in Israel. So he was sort of a one-up to them.
Right.
And was like, you'll be doing traffic on the Gaza Strip if
Right.
you try
if
to cross
you get
me.
in my way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that
But it's
was
weird because he's also saying that Emma has nothing to do with that place, but that's exactly where Peter tracked her to. And so either the new guy is lying, the protective guy, the protective detective, for the rabbi, either he's lying about her presence there and hiding something because he really is protecting that whole
okay.
community.
Right.
Or he's just telling them it's none of your business, get out of my way. Like
Right.
either he doesn't care or he's involved.
Yeah, there's kind of this double entendre sort of identities going on with each
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
Like, where are they really coming from? And
Exactly.
that's what's making it interesting
Very much
and
so.
drawing me into these characters. Yeah.
But
so-
it's also making you crazy.
Yeah.
Who can you trust
Right.
anymore?
So we've got a rabbi, an ambassador, and an archaeologist.
Right.
No joke here.
Right, exactly.
All right, because you had the good one last week. So, need we talk about the guy, the cow, and the guy on the boat?
There's not a lot there. I think the good thing that we saw and learned from that is the kid is still taking care of the cow. He's dedicated. That's his job. When his job is fulfilled, it will be fulfilled. But until that happens, that's his life's purpose. And he was doubting himself, and he was doubting his faith, just like you were talking about. And look, all of a sudden, as he was at his low point of faith, the big bully comes in with some food for him. And the kid, I still don't know his name.
Yeah,
but the one protecting the red heifer, he did his job. And I think that was a good thing for him to feel confident and proud of himself for. He stood up for it. He wasn't going to shoot anybody. We all knew that. But and at least we know the guys on the boat to Croatia aren't fully bad guys. Like, they don't want to hurt him or the calf.
Now, where is he heading to?
We don't know.
Okay, would you like to make a
He
prediction
said Croatia,
when we get into
but I have
predictions?
no idea. Yeah, let's get. I mean, that's all there is about that scene. We've got to see more of that. But I think the big part of the whole of tying into that is the rabbi and the ambassador all talking.
Right, because it's about the breastplate.
Who was the third guy with them?
Okay, the archaeologist, the
Yes,
real,
yes, I forgot.
I
that he
don't
was
know
even there.
who Emma Wilson
Yes.
is.
Meanwhile, he was her idol, right?
Right. He had signed the book and given her his autograph. So,
Yes.
yeah, he definitely had
That
an
was a lot of
interaction.
information right there.
True.
That was huge.
Yes, so they are all three tied together, and this is all leading somewhere. Okay, the breastplate has now also another stone after tonight, because Yusef Khalid finds his dry cleaning right outside of his apartment randomly.
Someone's hooking him up. Nice, crisp white suit.
Exactly. He's looking clean shaven.
Yep.
And he is
totally different. If you were not paying attention, you had no idea who that was.
right.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
he didn't change that much, but guys with beards and clean, I mean, it's amazing how they can change their
Yeah,
appearance.
and it was
everything about him was different. The air about
poised,
him,
his
the
air.
he had
Yeah, so
glasses, different glasses.
He's escorted into this sort of island home, and then escorted up to the private room where they have the jewelry and the stones and
Collectibles.
collectibles. And they make it very clear that this priceless stone, and because he asks what it is, right? So
Yep.
then they make it very clear, oh, well, that's not for sale.
Right.
So he eyeballs that and has to find a way
It's
in.
priceless.
Now, on the way in there was a certain someone that you were making a comment about.
Oh my gosh, the guy that walked in right behind him, who was the, what was he, the assistant or the guard
yeah.
for that room? Super handsome guy. Turns out he's gay in the show.
Because he was the one at the bar.
And then he winds up dying.
Well, because
I was so upset.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was a really bizarre thing, because I'm thinking, wow, Yusuf is going
He
to
went after, I mean, he's...
get some action at night in a
Right, right.
It's like, wait a second.
Meanwhile, he has a family back at home in America.
So that was really, well, then it was not
What it seemed to be.
what it seemed to be. A
But
precarious
it's crazy
situation
because
at
that whole thing wound up being like a lead to no buried treasure. That stone was fake. So
Oh, okay.
now they have to find a new stone. They were misled as to what that was. And so meanwhile, that guy has that on display and it's fake. He was testing the temperature of it.
So your handsome man was a casualty.
He was there for 2 seconds and he's gone.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Okay, well, you're not the only one that thought he was handsome, I will say that.
I'm sure.
Okay.
But so that was the only part that was it's crazy because now we have to think, where's the stone next? I thought that was too easy. When he said to the ambassador that, that's the hardest part, finding that last stone. And that's where they thought the stone was. I understand it's under lock and key with the secret room and the glass. But look how easy it was for him once he killed that guy.
Yeah.
It's got to be somewhere
You were right,
a little
yes.
more...
Yeah, because you were like, okay,
deceptive.
I know he's got his wallet, but like, the door
What else can
opened
he
very
do?
easily.
There's no
and-
other security there. Come on.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see, but I think that's
where
interesting.
could the main stone. There's only
Telling
one
you,
stone
it's still
left.
in the cow.
Okay. Oh.
It's still in the cow. That's a prophecy.
Okay, I'm thinking maybe like Fort Hood, maybe over in America somewhere.
Maybe, but that would.
Would that be too?
I don't know. I feel like that'd be going backwards.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I have no idea.
Okay. We did get to see a replica tonight, speaking of
Yes.
archaeological artifacts of the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes,
That was
I'm
pretty
glad you
cool.
said that. And that was a really cool place. That had a lot of what they've been after, the mysteries that they're trying to solve, this whole prophecy. And the Emma, when she was talking about why they're even digging, they're looking for the Ark. So that's, what she searched. So that does all tie in. And I liked that girl was describing what was in that museum or whatever that place was.
And that's where
they called it the yeshiva.
Okay, yes, it was the Jerusalem Heritage Center.
That's what, okay.
Yes, because then I got it when they were back over at Peter's apartment.
Okay.
Having that exchange.
Okay.
And so Peter and the Detective Cohen, are not to mess up what he's been working on for 18 months. So does that mean that they cannot continue investigating? They will.
It doesn't
but
matter.
they're supposed to stay within like certain parameters.
Right.
Yeah, and so we don't know if we can trust him, like you said, as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's all very interesting. Any other artifacts tonight? Anything else that you saw? I remember in the cave, when you bring up Emma Wilson, of course, goes back to the first episode where she's in the water, and then they ended up walling up that part of the cave.
Yes.
And that's where a human sacrifice or something happened.
Something was going on
that she
down
was
there.
not supposed to see. She did not make it through the night that night. And already Detective Connelly, Peter Connelly, FBI from the States, is over there because there was a murder to begin with.
Yes.
Of an American citizen.
Right.
And yet then it leads to something else. And now he's looking like just this grief-stricken father. And then,
I know, poor guy.
He gets on the phone with his wife in these moments after he is with Anne Heche's character oftentimes. And he, sort of has the physical and then is looking for the emotional, all over the place, just kind of bleeding all over the place, if you will. And then so he gets the wife, technically, on the phone and talks about V, which we learned was Vicky Connelly from the last episode. And they're having a memory
His
about when
daughter.
she was small and she dressed up, for Halloween and just a joke that was made. And that was really...
it shows how eccentric the daughter was, even at 8 years old. She wanted to be a lesbian truck driver.
Okay,
I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the red hair alone gives it away, but...
So
it was just a nice little look into her past, or they're all past,
And how they're still connecting. That's always going to be their connection. But yet she said she went to see her doctor, and it's causing her to shut down for the entire day. That
she can't talk to him anymore.
There's just going to be a season where there's not going to be any communication.
Yeah.
So that's going to, what I like about that is it's going to lead to more buildup with him because emotionally he's going to go up higher.
He has nowhere to go with it.
And then as more facts are found with this case and then the conspiracy comes in. So so that's a nice building.
He was crying in this episode. I mean, he was like whimpering.
Yeah, totally
Again,
grief.
sad, but super weird that you're doing it on a dead girl's bed. Like, why are you crying in her hotel room? Right? Or in her apartment, sorry.
Yeah, it's, but I mean, he's way overseas. It's not like he can really lean on Anne Heche's character, which then we saw a glimpse of Lynn looking up, and she's, you kind of wish, or she looked like she wished he would.
Yes.
Okay.
But I also feel like that was a suspecting look. Kind of like he knows, because the way they cut it, I wasn't sure if he left her in bed to go make that phone call. It looks like he was just getting ready to go, and that was kind of like
And by the way, I really liked how that was sort of a montage piece, and that was beautifully done.
A reflection of the phone call, yeah.
It made it so much deeper the way that was put together.
Yes, but that's why I think that she's just super suspicious, and I think she at first was just blaming the daughter's death and saying, hey, you have a lot of grief, you need to get over it. But now I think she's onto something. I think she gets that it's way deeper than that. It's not just the daughter that's making him act out and do all this stuff.
Right, because of now what happened at the big dinner. You think at the beginning of the show.
Right, exactly.
I mean, these are smart people, but yet they're kind of being pawns in a much bigger thing. So how are they going to get out of that? I really don't know. But in terms of the performances tonight and the characters, which ones are you finding most intriguing for you?
I mean, obviously Peter Connelly, and I'm still liking his dynamic with the other detective, with Golan, right?
Okay.
Cohen,
right?
And I like that he's giving him a little leeway, to go on, but he's giving Peter a little leeway, and then the two of them are coming back together and working together. I do like that when I saw his presence. We did see more of Lynn. I liked that. I would like to see more about the kid who's watching the red calf and, just learn more about that. But other than that, I'm a big Peter fan. So just anything that happens with them, I'm cool with.
I'm thinking that might intersect because that boat's got to land somewhere.
Yes.
So I'm thinking on the next episode, we are going to learn more about that. Mm-hmm. Now, would you like to get into predictions or do you want to cover anything else
No,
tonight?
I think we hit every nail on the head with this episode, especially the big ones, but I'm dying to hear what you wanted to say about Emma Wilson.
Okay. Let's see if I can remember.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
I know. Because I know me. I know if I say
goodness.
something and we have so much to cover here that I would just forget it.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can remember. We were diving into Emma Wilson.
Yes. And the beginning and the red hair. And you said you had a prediction and it was based on Peter.
Okay.
And smoking the cigarette. We were talking about all that.
Okay. Now I
I know,
actually...
this is putting you on the spot, but I was dying.
But if you remember, I want you to tweet me. I'm going to go back and watch this.
We have
and then
to.
I am going to totally know what my prediction was. Let's see if it'll hit me in the smack in the face. They did use a scripture tonight. There was the one guy, the Yusuf Khalid
At the end.
character, who's, obviously a murderer, but he's sitting here doing his unique sort of praying.
He thinks it's, like a lot of them do, for the better good. He's trying to do something, but he seems like a pretty religious guy.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, is faith and God different than religion? And so is it God versus religion? Or because I believe this show is just tackling religion. Mm-hmm. So now, yet there has been some pure prayers. There's also been some cursing of Jesus,
Right.
which is interesting because there's a lot of networks that won't even allow the name of Jesus. Like if somebody was to say, "Oh, praise Jesus,"
Right.
They don't want that on there. And then so this is like the contrary of that for the USA Network. So
Yeah, this is an aggressive show for them.
It is.
I would say.
There's definitely some crossing of the lines, and I was quite, which is the irony of the religions, and then you're calling on the name of Jesus and the other way. So
Yep.
but not in the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you're with me.
Yeah. Did you follow that? If you guys followed that, you have to tweet her.
It's the whole geometry shape. I'm still reeling on that tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's a good point.
All right.
But
all
yeah,
right.
the religious tones are so heavy in this show, and I think kudos to anybody who's hardcore in any one of them, that you just have the knowledge of what's going on, because I feel like this show is very smart, and if you are aware of those religions to an extent at any point, then you're kind of buying into it, and like I'm saying, good job with the show writers.
Well, and I'm convinced, because the scripture that was used at one point, again, it was the prayer. See, there's killings in all these religions, and my whole thing is find a religion that doesn't murder people, and then you don't have control and fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because this woman, Debbie's being kept out of control and fear,
Yeah.
and her.
Yeah.
Can you
She's
imagine like going to church and feeling like that?
Right. But it's so weird because it doesn't seem like she's scared for her life. It just seems like she's not happy and doesn't buy into it. So that's like strange too.
But also, I noticed for the first time that in New Mexico, it's at a prison facility.
Oh, yeah.
Not just a compound, but literally.
No, like a converted prison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she is trapped in there. I mean, she
Yes.
is definitely has a trap, feeling beyond
Right.
recognition.
Right. She knows
It
she's gotten
seems.
herself into something a little deeper than she wanted
Yeah.
to.
So how's that for, Emma Wilson prediction? Well, I'd like to say I can remember it.
Oh, I know what it was. The
Thank
tattoo on the
you.
back of her neck, right?
You're awesome.
Wasn't that it?
Yes, that is so it.
Awesome.
Okay, so if you know what that symbol is, please tweet me. I'm going to look it up this week as well.
Yes.
I thought that would be kind of a fun doing our own dig decoded this week.
Absolutely.
Since she is in the poster and she does keep showing up like in every episode.
I'm telling you, girl made bank on this show.
No kidding. No, and she's beautiful.
She is.
Alison Sudol.
I know her from something else, but I can't think of that right now.
Okay, so.
But that's
yeah.
like, okay, so was it a prediction, or you think that tattoo has something to do with?
See, okay, when we start seeing that symbol, I think there's going to be some kind of that coming together. Have we seen it yet anywhere? That particular symbol? I cannot recall.
We've seen so many symbols
Okay.
and so many letters and languages, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and she knows a lot. Like you say, it's a smart show. Look at her, looking at her journal.
Well, that's what's funny too. Like I said, for her to just come off as just a student, and now we're finding out a lot more about her in this. She reached out to someone about we didn't talk about this. She reached out to somebody about the cow findings she had. That was DNA of a cow. And
Very good.
That she's onto something, or she was, that she didn't want anyone else to know about. So she went straight to the lab, and that's what they told the detective.
See, that's an excellent point, because it's tying into the prophecy.
Yeah.
The Blue Man people are talking about the prophecy, the person in the boat.
It's all about the prophecy.
It's all, and then even Peter Connelly we found out he had gone to seminary, Catholic, almost priest. Something happened.
Didn't quite make it.
Oh, something happened. And I predict we will be finding out that.
That's good.
Okay.
That's a good prediction.
All right.
I think that the stone, like we said, will be somewhere. I just like that none of them know it yet, the archaeologist, and I kind of hope Peter finds out where it is first. But I'm so at a loss for how much is going on in this show that I don't even know where to start with a prediction. I'm just going to say I can't wait for next week's episode.
Okay. Well, I love that. I love that. We're going to learn more about the characters and the actors. Gideon Raff and Tim Crane, creators of the show Homelands and Heroes.
I saw that too. I'm so glad you mentioned that. 2 huge shows, huge cult followings in their own rights. Maybe Diggle get some of that following in a little bit, but I think more people need to tune in. So tune in and watch, you guys.
Yes, and tweet me at Mindy Charlotte and dig a little deeper. Keep on digging. Keep on digging. And then text me. Yeah. Send me a tweet. It's kind of like a text. Let me know your thoughts about tonight's show, and then even a prediction if you have one.
Absolutely. And you guys can reach me at Andy Fasano, ANDIFASANO. And let me know. I had a lovely lady reach out to me on Facebook, because I signed on to the Facebook page, and she corrected me with something we said, so that was good.
Now let me know.
Keep it coming.
Do you want me to call you Andrea or Andy?
You can call Andrea or Andy. I go by either. So
All right. Well, I'm just glad you're
Andrea.
here. All right. Well, that was so much fun.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Reach out to us, tweet us, and we will see you next time.
Okay. Have a great week. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.